What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope you guys are having a great day. Still sucks. We still are not in the playoffs, but it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. So now it's dealing with how do we fix the problem that we have, which is the Dallas Cowboys seemingly every year sucking when it comes to playoffs. You got to look at every aspect because everything that you do wrong gives the advantage to the other teams. And one of the things that you've got to look at where we've given a lot of advantages to a lot of people is penalties. We gave up 145 penalties. 145. That's getting close to 10 a game, okay? When you give up that many penalties, it's a killer. How many times you see us get like a 32, 35-yard play only to have a holding call that brings it all the way back? Instead of being first down and great field position and some momentum, now it's 1st and 20 and a mile to go. They've killed us. And here's where it's crazy because I was going through and it baffles me. I'm serious. This is crazy when you start thinking about this. Tyron Smith had 7 penalties. Well, he missed 6 games too. Wow. Terrence Steele, 8 penalties. Now, Terrence Steele played about 13 of the games, so okay, that's a little bit better than Tyron Smith. Lyle Collins, who was suspended for 7 games, he had 8 penalties. Our center, Tyler Badish, 9 penalties. Diggs, 9 penalties. And second most in the NFL is Connor Williams with 12. And that doesn't even count Randy Gregory having three this past playoff game. You know, every time we go through and we make a play and we get a stop and then we get a penalty, hands to the face that had nothing to do with stopping that play. Or you get somebody jumping off sides on a 4th down and you give them a 1st down. All of these calls are team killers. Now I can't, sometimes things happen. Sometimes you're anticipating the snap and you get off a little early. They happen. Yes, penalties are going to happen. And you can get some officials that may be a little bit, overzealous on the calls and maybe have a different agenda. You have to account for that. But you cannot constantly, over and over again, have these calls. And here's the thing that mystifies me more than anything else is there's no repercussions on penalties. They don't. Do you ever see anybody? I haven't seen it. Maybe I've missed it. Have you ever seen somebody have a boneheaded penalty, a late hit, an offsides, just stupid ones? You're like, what are you doing? Like Randy Gregory literally tackling the offensive tackle. Do you ever see anybody go through and say, sit your ass down? We can't have that. Do you ever see any repercussions to anybody? Bill Parcells, if you screwed up, he's going to give you a look that's going to make you want to walk to the other side of the field. He's going to tell you, get your ass, sit down, shut up. You're not going to be on the field doing that. And maybe this is the kinder, gentler NFL. But if constantly all season long you continue to have it, we've gotten to the point where Mike McCarthy says, well, we've talked about, the penalties and things. Okay, apparently your talks haven't worked because you're still committing them and you're doing them even worse. The Cowboys are the only team in the NFL that had 14 calls called on them this year, and they've had it twice. At some point, when you see a problem, you have to, as the head coach, say, this is a problem that's costing us games. We must do something about these problems so we do not lose games because of them. I'm tired of hearing, I know how to win. Well, if you know how to win, you would understand that you can't have these penalty calls. If you know how to win, you don't take a running back and you have him running with a tore PCL without taking time off when you see that he's getting 30 yards a game. You have to be smart enough to realize, are those 30 yards a game really helping me? Or am I better off just saying, get off the field until you're ready to go? I've had now more questions about Mike McCarthy and what he is doing the last couple of days, especially after yesterday's press conference, and trying to say, who's in charge here? If you're not the one, as you put it, the installer does the play calling, which is Kellen Moore. If you're not addressing the issues of the team, injuries, penalties, and things like that, then what is it that you are doing? Now, we stand to lose some of the coordinators. I'm at the point of thinking, Mike McCarthy, you're probably on the hot seat. And maybe, since you put the blame on Kellen Moore and saying that, he's the installer, so he's the one making the calls, maybe you should be the one making the play calling. So we can at least say, okay, here's what he does. Because I think it's your ass that's on the sling now. And you've got to get these things corrected. To see Randy Gregory, and I love Randy Gregory, I'm glad that he got to be on the field all year. He got the 6 sacks, and, you look at saying, okay, this is a guy we can build on. He's getting older, but he hasn't had the miles on him. So you say, yeah, this is a guy who you want to hold on to. And I agree with that. But you also have to say, we need to break these habits. To see him basically, oh shit, smiling and all that after getting penalties that are costing you the game, you have to wonder, what the F? What the F is going on? Got to fix these things, man. Got to fix these things. All right, I got to go in here and do some more work. Got this guitar here, see if this is actually going to work. See if it'll actually hold it. I've never had to work on a cracked guitar before, but somebody's asked me to do it. Anyway, I'm going to catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.